Hello and welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with Liz, a disability policy for all. The Jewish religion has had many important figures who had a disability. Therefore, the connection to the disability movement is very strong. February is Jewish Disability Awareness and Inclusion Month. Today I had the pleasure of interviewing Rabbi Michael Safra, who is one of the rabbis here at B'nai Israel. So welcome, Rabbi Safra.
Thank you very much for having me, Liz.
The first question is, how can faith community help people with disability be more inclusive? Be more included.
So first of all, Liz, I want to thank you for inviting me to speak to you today and to be on camera. I think it's very important. You and I clearly have sat many times together, but when I sit with you, I really feel like I'm sitting with a star, because here I'm with somebody who really has modeled self-advocacy and been such an inspiration for so many other people. In terms of what it means or what faith communities can do to include people with disabilities, I go back to a few of the words that I learned the first time that we celebrated, or that I celebrated Jewish Disability Awareness Month, probably about 15 years ago. First of all, the idea of inclusion as opposed to accommodation. We're sitting in the sanctuary of the synagogue, and for many years it's been a policy at B'nai Israel to make sure that everybody's disabilities are accommodated for. So we have audio loops, there's a ramp to go up to the bima, there's a lift to go up to the higher bima. Those kinds of things are very important to accommodate for people. But more important on Jewish Disability Inclusion Month is that people should feel included in the congregation. And that doesn't mean just that we tell people they can come to us and wherever we are, we'll make it work, but rather that we have to go out to people, we have to meet people where they are, and we have to include them in Jewish life. That's something, by the way, which is not unique for individuals with disabilities. The Jewish community in general around us is changing, and synagogues are learning to say being Jewish or being a community is not just what happens in this building or at a particular program, but it's about the community that's formed. And that means that community is diverse, people are different in terms of ability and also in other ways, and everybody has to be met where they are. There's one other phrase which I learned really from you, and that I think is important for congregations to think about, and that is the idea of people first. That individuals are not defined by their disability. They are individuals first, and they may have a disability. Sometimes we might hear kids refer to a mitzvah project where they worked with special needs kids or something like that. And I want to applaud the mitzvah project, but then I want to cringe at the way that they're talking about the kids that they're working with. They're working with kids who have special needs. Individuals with disabilities are part of our community, just like individuals with blue hair, or just like any other kind of individual, and communities need to recognize that.
Thank you. In your opinion, what is the goal of the Jewish Disability Awareness and Inclusion Month?
So I think the main goal is to raise awareness, right? February is Jewish Disability Awareness and Inclusion Month. It's not that we're not committed to inclusion in January and in March and for the rest of the year. That's a value every day, 365 days of the year in the community. But this particular month brings the value to the forefront. First of all, it reminds people in the congregation that this is a value. But it also gives us the opportunity to say in a very proactive way to individuals with disabilities who may think that a synagogue is not a place for them, who may think that the community won't be welcoming, we're giving ourselves the opportunity to say loud and clear this congregation values your participation, wants you to be a part of it, really following the model of Phil and Liz, the way that they've been a part of the congregation, but that we get a chance to say that. And thirdly, there are families, individuals who have disabilities who are at the beginning of their journey and aren't really sure yet how to navigate the waters, how to get services, how to find supports. And we use this month as a chance to advertise just what's out there and to build awareness for the projects they can use, or for the services that they can use. So it's to build awareness for individuals with disabilities and to build awareness for the community and to remind ourselves that this is a value every day of the year.
Thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about regarding Jewish Disability Awareness and Inclusion Month?
I would just say two things. First of all, I think that inclusion is not something that you just do and you say you're finished with. The inclusion is a process. When we first started doing these Disability Awareness Months, some people had a reaction like, well, our synagogue already has a ramp. Our synagogue already has an audio loop for individuals who are hard of hearing. The process of inclusion is ongoing, and there's always more that we can do and always ways that we can open the gates of Torah, open the gates of the synagogue wider. And so that's something that we think about during this month. And the second really is just to say thank you, Liz, and thank you to the people who serve on our inclusion committee at this synagogue and serve on inclusion committees at other congregations throughout the country for the work that you do to inspire us, to remind us when we can do better, and to encourage positive change that makes our congregations most welcoming. That people know they have a place here, and congregations know that they can always do more to send that message that people have a place here. So thank you.
Thank you. And if you have any questions about this or any other policy issues, please go to the AUCG webpage and look for this week's in-brief. And if you have any questions or comments about this edition of Tuesdays with Liz, please leave them in the space below. Thanks and have a nice day. Thanks, Rabbi.
Thank you so much, Liz.
Bye.